Welcome to the 3Haunted podcast, where we bring you all things horror, supernatural, folklore, mythology, and all things that go bump in the night.
What's up, everybody? This is your co-host, Ashley Lunar Goddess, Gorilla Girl filmmaker and horror-loving cinephile. I'm just your average podcast-producing badass.
And I'm John Thomas. If it's haunted, cursed, or just plain weird, I'm into it. From paranormal encounters to horror movie deep dives, urban legends, cryptids, count me in.
I'm BJ Sewura, an aspiring paranormal musician who plays live for the dead because the living just doesn't want to hear me.
What's up, ghouls, gals, and all of our meta-horror maniacs out there? For nearly 3 decades, one franchise has turned every phone call, friend, and dark corner into a reason to panic. It all begins with one question. What's your favorite scary movie? That's right. Tonight we're slicing into the Scream franchise. So lock your doors, silence your phone, and whatever you do, never say, "I'll be right back." Joining us in this terror is writer, producer, director, and fellow Scream fanatic, Jason Zink. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, so happy to have you here. This is a long time coming. We are 6 seasons in, and this is John Thomas's ultimate favorite franchise. So it's about time we had an episode about all things Scream.
Yes, it is.
And I will say that, I did do like an impromptu, hey, let's have a Scream episode, put a post out there. And there were quite a few people responding, yeah, I do it, sure, why not? And tagging other people. But there was one post that caught my attention. And that would be Jason's. And Jason, do you want to tell us what you posted?
Yeah, I posted just a photo of my foyer, and it's covered in Scream VHS tapes. Like, I have a collection of sealed tapes, and then I have our open ones. I have like a UK quad poster for Scream. You probably couldn't tell, but in the top left corner, I have one of the original promo Jiffy Pops. And since you said I could be as vulgar as I want, I'll tell you, I have this weird thing that I do where I collect parody VHS, like big box pornography. So like TNA Team or Buns and Roses or whatever. And I have a bunch of those that are like horror themed. And one of them is, I didn't bring it up here, but it's called Queen. And it looks just like the cover to Scream, but it's Queen with the font looking just like it, but it's a transsexual porno. And so I've never popped it in the VCR, but it's sitting on the shelf, proudly displayed.
What is this supposed to be about?
Well, I'm assuming it's just a terrible ripoff of Scream, but
But I mean, they've got Queen, so
yeah, maybe they do a little bit more of a drag queen thing. I don't know, but I'm scared to click play.
Oh, no.
Well, with those types of movies, it's like, like the first 5 minutes, there's a story, right? So maybe they do follow. It's like, oh yeah, there's a phone call, right? Like it probably replays the first movie or whatever. And then they're having fun on the phone, and it's like, I'm right behind you, and then dildo or whatever.
Yeah, then they're in it. And they're in it the rest of the time. I guarantee it. I have like Killer Bimbos from Outer Space. And it's just a bunch of dumb titles. But like my dream is to one day have like a basement like video store and have a little parody porno section in there.
That's hilarious. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that somebody collects that. That's fantastic.
I thought you were going to just say parodies, like, like the scary movies and that kind of stuff.
Oh, no,
Spaceballs and that kind of stuff.
I do love the first scary movie. I have that poster in the foyer too, but yeah.
Which should be mentioned on this podcast because it is, I mean, there's as many as those movies as there are like Scream movies pretty much, right? I don't even know how many there are now. But
they seem to match it. Like we just got the Scream 7 and now we're getting a scary movie.
Yeah, I think the new one's number 6 finally, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're like one behind, but yeah, they're keeping up finally.
Finally. So What I love is that we have a common ground here because John loves the Scream series, but I love Wes Craven. So I also love Scream, but he is a fanatic for Scream. I am a fanatic for Wes. So it's exciting when worlds collide, right? It's very Power Man 3000 to me. Although I will say I never watched the television series. So.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Season 1's pretty good. Season 2 tapers off a little bit. It's not as good. And then they did this weird, like, I guess it was would they consider that a movie or is it season 3? I don't know, where they did this, like, they're on an island. I don't even
That
remember
was
much of what happens.
yeah. That was in between season 2 and 3. They went to an island. It was like their TV movie version, basically, and then the third season just kind of. I don't know. I didn't really watch most of that one, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah,
Or
that's the one that's,
fortunately.
like, in the city or whatever, right?
Yeah, they brought back the
It's like a
original
whole,
mask or
yeah.
whatever, and then yeah.
I mean, it felt a little WB. It felt a little on that
Hmm.
side of things, but it was still a lot of fun and paid a lot of homage to the real series, you know.
What network was it on? I don't even
MTV.
I
remember.
don't even remember. Was it? Yes,
It
it
was
was
MTV.
MTV. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The horror genre as it stands, there's a lot of subgenres. And I feel like although it's a slasher franchise, for me it stands out so much on its own that for me Scream is almost like its own subgenre. Like you can't really replicate or mimic it, right? Like it's a slasher flick. Yes, you have Ghostface, but there's something still so unique to it in each and every film, even when they switch up the writers sometimes, even when Wes, rest in peace, passed away, they still have this specific pulse to them that no other movie has been able to capture.
Yeah. Well, I think I totally agree. I mean, I think one of the beautiful things about it is that each time you know it's going to be a different person under that mask. So they could do it essentially forever. It's just, it's up for debate how they should go about that, I guess. But yeah, never really get tired of the Scream series myself.
I think that the fact that their motives are so outrageous from 2 on that at first you're like, "Oh, really? That's what we're going with?" But then it's actually kind of brilliant, right? Because they get so outrageous with their motives that, like you said, it can just keep going because it's like it doesn't matter what it is. Like you tripped over my cat and now you gotta go, and we start to just accept it because that's part of the brand, right? Like these motives just get more and more and more out of control. That first it was like, okay, you're upset, your mom abandoned you, and it's directly your mother's fault, and then it becomes, well, you were my cousin twice removed, and I found them on a Discord server. And it just gets so outrageous. And I know we'll probably touch on this later, but that's why I was surprised when people were not fans of the Scream 7 motivation. Because I'm like, guys, when were we ever in this for believable motivations? That was out the door like after 1.
Yeah, well, I should say spoiler alerts, right? Like for
They
Scream
haven't
7.
watched it.
I know. So I will say, so like I really enjoyed Scream 7. I actually left being like, I liked that movie way more than I thought I was going to. But every time people complain to me about it, I think they're right about everything they complain about. Like, I don't really care because I still had a great time, but they're not wrong. And I think like for a minute in that movie, I was really hopeful that they were kind of just going at random and making these people just total psychopath, like cultists in the town. And I thought there was going to be more than 3 of them. I was like, oh my gosh, they're finally going back to like, it's scarier when there's no motive. You
Right.
know, I thought it was going to be that. And instead, when she explains her weird obsession with Sid in the book, I was like, all right, this, to your point, Ashley, it just seems like so stupid that I was like, oh man, I kind of just I wish they went all the way with this instead of kind of trying to come up with some weird rationale for why she was doing it.
I almost didn't find it that outrageous,
Really?
only because here's why. Because celebrity worship and this like unhealthy attachment to people that we view as role models, whether it be influencers or whoever, it's gotten really unhealthy over the past, I want to say, like
Yeah,
decade.
that's fair.
And so for me, it was more of a commentary on that. At least that's how I took it. I'm like, yeah, that actually makes sense. People are way too dependent on people they view as role models. And then when they step outside of that role model image, people tear them apart. They want to cancel them online. They troll them and say awful, atrocious things. So for me, it was just that next step of, all right, well, those are those crazy ass keyboard warriors that tear their person apart because they're not behaving exactly as they thought they should. This is that next psycho. And what happens when you mix those people with someone who's just a little bit more lethal. But that was just me. And I guess that's because I do kind of consistently see that unhealthy stuff when I'm doom scrolling, where I'm like, holy cow, this person's like threatening a celebrity just because they don't like the way they didn't use a comma or something. I don't know. Like, it's, to me, it kind of made sense. And that may not have been where the writer was going, right? Like, they may have just been like, well, what can we think of next? Or it may have been. I don't know. But for me, it really did kind of land on the unhealthy obsession and hero worship that we're kind of seeing right now with influencers and
Mhm.
celebrities.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a very fair
Well,
reading.
and Ashley called it out. She like knew who the killers were. I mean, we all went together, which was
Yeah,
great.
I kind of knew too, unfortunately, but like, I don't know. I loved Anna Camp. I wanted to see her go crazier than she did. Ethan Embry, what the hell? But whatever.
It was a waste of Ethan Embry, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, Anna Camp was great. Not my favorite, but which reminds me, who is your favorite Ghostface? Out
Ooh,
of
yeah,
all of
that's a
them,
good
for
one.
everybody.
Oh boy, that's really
Good
tough.
one. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cliche, but I think realistically, I gotta just go with Stu. I think I have to. I mean, I'm such a Matthew Lillard stan. I love him so much. I have since. I think. I mean, even though Scream was like the first thing I think I had watched, because SLC Punk was 2 years later, but SLC Punk, I fell absolutely head over heels for Matthew Lillard, and so it just helped grow the appreciation for Scream. So I think he's got to be my favorite.
I'm with you. I'm a Stu fan all the way when it comes to my favorite Ghostface. Like, his iconic lines that we still to this day will quote are things that Matthew Lillard improvised. So it's just like, I will always say, my mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. I mean, he made that up. He improvised that. Like, the guy is a genius. And that for someone to be a cold-blooded killer and still you love them, like, that's just fantastic. He's my favorite Ghostface.
What about you, BJ?
So I'm gonna go the opposite way. Somebody I wanted to be a ghost face that wasn't a ghost face.
That doesn't count.
Just let me say it.
It's Melissa, isn't it?
No. Cotton Weary. I wanted Leave Schreiber to be a ghost face. I think if he would have been a badass ghost face, because he plays a really, like, he can play that character like an evil, like, he's very intimidating. Like, he is that type of dude. Like, he was Sabretooth. Like, he was he's Ray Donovan. He's done a lot of stuff, but I feel like they missed an opportunity with him, by making him kind of like a good guy. And it's like, I mean, he wasn't a good guy, but he wasn't the bad guy, I was like, well, why don't you not kill him off? And he comes back in the third movie and he's like, no, she's not doing all the interviews, so I'm going to make my own interview with her. And, that kind of thing. I don't know.
I mean, he died in the third movie in the beginning, but
Yeah, but it was waste almost.
I thought he was so boring. I'm glad they cut his storyline off. There's only so much you could do with it. And honestly, I like that they didn't make him a bad guy, because I like this idea that not all bad guys are killers, and not all killers are douchebag narcissists. Like, you have endearing Stu, the like a prime example. You love him, and then you're like, oh, he's kind of a killer. Oops, oopsie daisy.
That says all kinds of crazy things about you. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, of course. No, but by far, yeah, absolutely. I didn't want him to die. Like, I was like, if
No,
you gotta kill Billy Loomis, that's fine. But can we maybe figure out a way to keep Stu going?
that's funny.
I was so happy that he wasn't the guy in Seven, though. I
Yeah,
I had some friends who were like really adamant that they're bringing him back in that way, and I was like, guys, like it makes the rest of the franchise kind of make no sense. Like every time somebody's getting slaughtered, they're gonna be like, "Where's Stu?" If he was still alive. So I'm glad they didn't go that way.
yeah, exactly. I have mine's a toss up. Jill was great because hello, psycho family member, just saying. And Amber, another psycho. You can tell when she was killing people because she was just going to town, kind of like Melissa in 5 and 6. But yeah,
John Thomas
Yeah.
likes lady killers.
yeah. Can I just say that it was actually kind of hot when Melissa was killing him in 5? Just saying.
I liked Amber. Something about, is it Emma Roberts? I'm not like, she's like another
Yeah.
Buffy to me. I don't enjoy watching her on scene. I know that sounds awful, but like I'm not a huge fan of like her overall performances. And so the I would say I know a lot of people rank 4 on their top list when they come to ranking the different Scream movies. I actually consider that one of my weaker ones because of her. You don't get a lot of Sydney. She's very serious and just kind of like there's just not much in terms of like her complexity, and which Nev is phenomenal. She's captivating in every scene. So for her to be like, it says something for me anyways. But I think the only thing that was like very enjoyable for me in Scream 4, or one of the few things, is just Hayden. I love watching Hayden in a film, and I think she landed when she's like just spitballing, spit firing the horror movies out, right? And she's like, I did it right, I did it. It's just like, I love her. So Scream 4, I think probably for me, Hayden was the most compelling part of that. But I'm not a big fan of Emma Roberts.
I will agree that Hayden fucking rules in that movie.
Yes, she does.
I love Kirby so much. Like that character is amazing in that movie.
Uh-huh.
But I gotta disagree on Jill. I love Jill. I think you should watch, if you haven't, you should watch the TV show Scream Queens.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very funny. Like I don't know if you've watched Holliston, but sort of that like tongue-in-cheek meta horror comedy stuff. It's really good, and she's super funny in it. So I really like part 4. The only thing I don't like about part 4 is there's something weird about how they shot it, where everything looks like it's got like a filter covered in root beer over top of it. Like I don't really know what happened, but whatever. I still love the movie. We actually just, I think it was like 3 years ago, my wife and I, when we were engaged, we went out. They filmed almost all of that in Michigan. So we drove out there and just did our own little Scream 4 tour and stayed in a hotel and then went to a haunted house. And it was a lot of fun.
I love that. And you guys have matching Scream tattoos, right?
Yeah, they're the same words. It's movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative. They're just in like different spots on our arms. But yeah, we got those together.
Did you get that before or after you were married?
We got that before. So she came on for my my punk rock slasher movie Straight Edge Kegger. She had never done producing before, and she stepped into that role because she loves me, and she absolutely crushed it. And so I was like, it would be kind of like the perfect tattoo for a couple of horror filmmakers like who love Scream. And so we went and got them. Bonded us together forever,
You're bound by ink.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
And love. There's that too.
there is that too. Yeah.
I have a question. So, Drew Barrymore, right? Like for me, I thought that they had a missed opportunity. I mentioned this before on another episode, but Like, why didn't they ever do any kind of like flashback to where she was talking with any of the group, Sydney or anybody? Right? There's like nothing there. There's talk about her, but there's no like scenes of coming back to her or even returning to her story at all, right? Like her family or any of that. Like
Oh,
that would have been
yeah, just the Becker parents like
yeah,
grieving or something.
that would have been cool. Like bring
That's
that
fair.
back, right? Like why not have that be part of the lore, right? Because she was the first one to get murdered. Why don't we bring that back? And maybe her parents or maybe somebody from their family. It's like it's all because of Sydney that my daughter died. Like why didn't they use that?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
But it
Right?
You
wasn't
know,
because of Sydney, though. It was her relationship with Stu that got her killed. So,
Was it though?
yeah, I mean, Tatum straight says it. Didn't you date her before she dumped your ass? And Stu's like, hey, no, I dumped her. Like, clearly that was a vengeance thing for her dumping Stu. But I don't know, because I feel like all of the screams up until this point have been a connection to like Billy because of his daughter, and just by proxy those who survived and connection to Sydney. But nobody survived in the Beckers.
But like they weren't just gonna kill. She was just the jumping off point, right? It was like we're gonna kill Drew and then we're gonna go on from there. But she ends up being the first one, and then this is how we're gonna kind of get around to getting to Sydney. We're gonna kill all the people around her, and then she'll be the one.
Well, I think they had their practice kills. So for Stu, his practice kill is his ex-girlfriend who dumped him.
Right.
For the principal, he's another practice kill. And then as it's like we're honing in our skills and learning to work together, now we're going to actually start alienating Sydney and make our way to Sydney.
Ashley, I think a terrible phrase is practice kill.
Like, you see where my mind's at.
I know, but they're still getting kills,
I mean,
they're
for
still
sure.
killing people.
Yes, but they're practicing their coordination because you can't practice
Their
your coordination on the people
warm-up
that
kills.
you're actually needing. Like the cost is not the cost, but your want is higher. They need to kill Sydney. Billy needs to kill her. And so the stakes are higher in terms of personal motivation. They need to get it right beforehand. So it's like, well, let's practice on, the fawns. Let's practice on your ex-girlfriend.
I guess
and
that's
his
fair.
current girlfriend.
And his current.
I guess it's fair because they view the whole thing as a movie too. And so they're thinking about other slasher movies and the body count and stuff like that. So I guess that's probably a fair reading too.
Yeah. And to quote Randy, there's always some stupid bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend.
Yeah.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Because, I mean, they didn't go after Randy's sister, which you think that they would have. Instead, they went after the twins.
They should have died, by the way, long time ago.
I'm going to say fuck you on that one because no. I love the twins.
Because they're the comedy relief and they don't deserve to die, even though they've
Chad became the new Dewey, okay?
Time.
I mean, I know that's what people are comparing them to is the Dewey longevity, and that's fair. But that scene when they're stabbing him in the theater,
that was brutal.
Is like no way. Yeah. And they said that they had to dial that back in the edit because it was even more brutal. There were more stabs.
Damn.
I know.
Yeah, I think from 2022 on, the kills have gotten even more angry and violent, and some of them borderline like Final Destination feel, right? It's where you're just like, oh, it's now. No, not yet. Okay, it's about to happen. No, not yet. And they're definitely more intense. But that Jason, that scene where they have him in the theater and they bring him to his knees and they just start taking turns stabbing him, it's like there's no way in hell he survived that.
Hey, weirder things have happened, but yes, it is pretty far-fetched, I will say.
Really pretty, as fucked up as that sounds, a really pretty kill scene though. Just the fact that they're like, they have him on his knees and they're just taking turns, and the way that the shot is set up, like the composition of it was pretty.
Yeah, it's kind of like after that, how do you actually kill him? Like everything, if he really gets killed off, it's going to be like a dud. Like it's not going to feel that way.
Well, it's kind of like Dewey when he's in the sound booth of the college, right? And the Ghostface comes up from behind and stabs him in the spine and like lifts him up, and there's blood everywhere. How Dewey survived that? No idea. But blood all over, and he's just like slammed into the glass, and it's just like, how do you come back from that?
Well, here's the thing. In all of these movies, that's the big joke, right? It's like you got to shoot them in the head. You got to make sure, right? Even with the people that are good, right? Like, because that's the thing about Seven that I was like, no, it was completely unbelievable. How many times they got stabbed? The Ghostface is just getting stabbed, and then they're still fighting like they've never been. Like they only got a scratch. It's like if you got stabbed 5 times, you're probably not going to pick Sydney up and toss her around over across the room. Like you're going to feel it a little bit. But that's the thing with these movies. That's the unbelievable supernatural part of it, right? It's not reality when it comes to murder, unless they're on drugs or something, and then they just can't be stopped.
It's that psychotic adrenaline. That needs to be a pre-workout for the gym.
No. That's what I'm saying, drugs. Like if they were on drugs on top of that, maybe, because there's like stories of police officers having to take just one person. It takes like 5 people to grab them just because they're so hopped up on all the drugs to just they just have that almost like a super strength, right? But I don't know. Like I don't know if you could just do that if you're psychotic, right? Like not to the extent in these movies. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
A lot of people do point to like, I've never been one to study which killer was doing the kills and stuff. I've read some of those things before, but they do have a point when like whatever that girl's, is it Amber? I think I'm so bad with those names in the later movies, but when she kills Dewey in the hospital and the height difference, people are like, look at the body of that ghost face compared to who would actually have to do the kill and stuff. It's like, if you overanalyze it, the series does have a lot of issues. But I usually am just like, I'm just happy as a pig in shit watching a Scream movie. So
Absolutely. I know I said Amber was one of my favorites, but fuck her for killing Dewey. I know he needed to die, but fuck her for that.
He did not need to die.
I mean, it's kind of like BJ's point, like though. Said. Yeah, like it's like at a certain point, it's like, well, why are we watching if there's no stakes and these people are just going to live indefinitely, But it is hard. I mean, hell, I don't think we should have gotten rid of Randy in Scream 2. Like,
yeah, that was rude.
Hot damn.
All of the horror nerds in us were just like, that's absolutely rude.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the weakness of the newer ones, because it's like you killed all the characters that we love, and then you're trying to build up these new characters in a single movie. It's like, or maybe 2 movies now, but like for example, McKenna Grace, right? She didn't last very long.
But she has a wonderful singing voice.
It was a great, that's a great song, and she had a crazy brutal kill. But death, I should say. But yeah,
that was just her swinging.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't live in most of the movies that she's in that are horror, so
that's true.
I do kind of wonder if they made the song after they filmed, when they knew how her character died, because one of the song lyrics is something along the lines of like, I spill my guts on cue. You make a scene and I'll make one too. And I'm like, okay.
Ooh.
We know exactly what happened to her character. Yeah. Just like, did y'all write this after the fact? I love that song. I also love Ice Nine Kills. So yeah, I'm having a hard time with the new generation of characters, because like you said, we are running out of the characters that we loved, and they didn't do a lot of justice for Gail in Scream 7. She just wasn't present in most of it. I'm just glad they didn't kill her, but we are running out of our OGs. And so you do need a next generation to care about. And that leaves us with who? Chad and Mendy. Who's left? Her daughter, I suppose. Which phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
That girl did an amazing job.
Yeah, she was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did great.
But they killed off all her friends too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know what this means? It's time to reboot it.
Time for a reboot.
Yeah.
Or we just have to merge the worlds and we have our Manhattan friends combining with our Scream 7 friends. Because I know we have our tie-in like Chad and Mendy, but yeah, they have to give us people that are likable, that we care about. And I know some people like Chad and Mendy, but they're just not enough. Like I do think we need some stronger ones. Don't you frown at me, John Thomas. They're trying too hard. That's what it felt like in Scream 7. They were trying too hard to be what we already know. Yeah, I think they just need to introduce people that are their own. I feel like they are trying too hard to make them reminiscent of Randy, reminiscent of Dewey. And it's like, no. Don't give us like a rinsed out repeat version of what we know. Give us something new.
Right. I will say that Gail's entrance in 7 was the best.
The car?
Pretty great. Yeah.
I loved it. Yes.
So then what is everybody's favorite Scream movie?
Mine is easily the first Scream. I'm sorry if that's cliche, but nothing's ever going to top it.
Boys.
I mean, yeah, like the first one. So I mean, I don't want to actually, maybe I shouldn't say this. I'm not a huge fan of the franchise as a whole.
Bye-bye.
Boo this man.
There's the door.
Yeah, there's the door. No, I mean, like there's some winners. There, you know, just like any horror franchise, some of them are amazing, some of them are not that great. Like the Nightmare on Elm Street, like, you know, the first one, the third one, and New Nightmare, right? Those are the three I think that are just amazing. The other ones, there might be some things in them that you like, but they're not your gold. And I think the same thing with Scream. But for me, there are fewer gold moments or gold movies in the Scream franchise than like Nightmare on Elm Street. So for me, like, yeah, the first one, maybe the second one, and 7. I don't know. It's hard for me. It's really hard for me because again, they killed too many of my favorite characters, and then it just lost its originality a little bit. And that's where I was like, all right.
I don't know. I'm going to be different and say 2. I liked 2.
What about 2 makes it like your favorite?
I don't know. I mean,
the opening is pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely. There's that.
I mean, Jada Pinkett, anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
absolutely.
was her dying. Oh my gosh. Can we just appreciate that for a moment? Like the whole theater being just outrageously wild, and then her getting up in front of the screen and crying and just like cursing them all. Oh, so good.
Yeah. And the whole bathroom scene fucked me up too, because again, I saw that movie in the theaters, and of course I had to go to the bathroom afterwards, and I'm like, I kind of don't want to do that because I'm gonna die. Somebody's gonna stab me because I'm gonna listen and be like, what? Oh, but yeah, no. Just that, and I mean, yes, I'm pissed off that they killed Randy, but I mean, it was different because you didn't expect it, especially so soon. So I think that was
it was an effective kill. You know, I mean, I think that like shocked everybody in the theater when he gets yanked in the van. Like, I didn't expect that at all.
No.
There's an irony in that, right? He's the film buff being murdered in a filming van. Like, things that make you go, I feel like my favorites are always going to be the original because there is no other perfect murdering duo than Billy Loomis and Stu Macher. But then I also love Scream 7 because of the dynamic we get with Sydney and her daughter. So 2 completely different films within the same franchise. And I really loved them both so much. I felt like Ethan Embry's character was wasted. That was like a throwaway. But outside of that, just we got two completely different films. And I really loved them both for what they were. But if I had to pick one out of those two, it's got to be Scream, just the original, because of Billy and Stu. There's just no other bromance, murdery bromance than those two.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask how everybody feels about Scream 3, because Scream 3 used to be my least favorite and the thing that frustrated me the most about the franchise, and I've grown to love it so much. Like it is like a comfort food for me. So I want to know what you guys think about it.
I'm
That's the
with
one
you.
in
At first,
Hollywood,
I
right?
didn't. Yeah. At first, I didn't like it, but I mean, there were so many different lines in there, though, that I loved, even when I didn't like it. Like, he was making a movie called Stabbed. He was stabbed. My
Yeah.
favorite. Like, I say that when I want to be a smartass about anything, but I, like you, I love it now. And I don't, it's not my least favorite now. I think 4 is, even though I've come to love that one too.
I think 3 was as bad as Courtney Cox's hair in that movie.
Oh, her
Oh,
poor
it's
hair.
so great
Aw,
though.
that's
It's iconic.
mean.
Those bangs, man.
Yeah, I just love how they like made fun of it in 5, and then all of that. So that was great.
Yeah, terrible.
I absolutely love Scream 3 because
Yeah, like Gail and Parker Posey running around like little mini Gail
Yeah.
is so funny. It's
That was the
insane.
best.
like Parker Posey is exactly why I love Scream 3, because when Scream can land, any of the Scream movies, when they can land a comedic character and it doesn't feel contrived or over the top, it just is who that character and person is, that
Yeah.
wins for me. So like Scream, you had Stu Macher, and like Scream 3, you have Parker Posey, and she is just
She's great.
everything about
She's
her
always
was
great.
fabulous. Like even when she's
Yeah.
subtly like, right, she's upset because they find out she's the next character to die, and she just randomly jumps into her
Jumps up,
bodyguard's
yeah.
arms. And it's
Yeah.
like, what? But it works because it's Parker Posey. So oh man, I loved that movie just because of her.
When she's yelling at Gail, "I'm next to die because somebody wants to kill me." No, because they want to kill you.
Kill you. Yeah. I'm glad that there's not a bunch of Scream 3 hate, but I mean, I know that I think BJ's opinion is a little bit closer to what the world feels about Scream 3. But I've grown to love it.
It was
I probably need to
ambitious.
rewatch. Yeah.
It was ambitious, and they commented on that in Scream 6 when it's like, hey, Roman's the only one to have ever attempted to do this without a partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like was that they tried to make him the motive.
For Scream 7, as soon as it was announced and I knew there was Kevin Williamson coming back to direct, I called pretty early. I'm like, well, why not go back to Scream 3 now that we have better than just a voice changer? We have this AI stuff. So I kind of knew ahead of the curve that this was going to be happening. And so my buddy Bachin would always be arguing with me, they're bringing Stu back. And I'm like, they're not. I said, if anything, it's going to be an AI Stu. So I was so happy to be right about that.
But they did bring him back. I mean, it is him. It's
But it's not
yeah.
Stu.
No, but
at least they
like,
brought back Matthew Lillard. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you got Matthew Lillard in all of his glory, and you know it's him. It's not they
Right.
weren't actually using AI for him. They actually used Matthew Lillard.
I think that Scream fans would have rioted if they used an AI version of Matthew Lillard and
Ooh.
not actually Matthew Lillard.
Look, I want to argue the opposite about Scream 7. I don't think he should have been full AI. I definitely agree with that. But I thought they should have done a better job of making it look like it had been a different version of Stu. Instead, it just looks like Matthew Lillard with makeup on. And so I was like, well, this doesn't really feel very genuine to what I know AI to look like either. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's nitpicky.
I think they gave it away pretty early on that it wasn't going to be actual Stu, just with that marketing poster that was clearly an AI version of Stu. It's like, okay, I see where they're going with this, because they used a deep fake AI version of Stu on this Scream marketing, and it was very obvious AI. So it's just like, okay,
I actually don't even think I saw that. I don't think I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna have to go look later.
Yeah, there was a marketing poster for Scream and it had Stu on there, and it's just like clearly an AI rendering of Matthew Lillard, and it's like, all right, well, they just kind of showed their cards early.
Oh, okay.
It's a good thing you didn't see that, right? So it was a
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah.
Why would they announce him so early if they were actually bringing him back? Like, I didn't like that they were announcing people like that, but
Yeah.
so I was like,
They should have
okay,
just
he's
left
not
that.
real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, would have been a nice surprise.
Yep. And that's one thing that we love about the first one, right? Like the surprise when Drew Barrymore was the first one to be killed. Like in the marketing of her being, the main protagonist, and then just wasn't. Like that's why that happened so successfully. Like I wish they would hold back more and not even like release who's in the film. Like hold it back. Like if there's somebody that's going to be big,
Leave it alone.
In the your favorite scary movie book, I don't know if you guys have read that, but it's incredible. I've been a fan of this franchise for 3 decades, and I still learned so much. It was crazy. But one of the things was with Henry Winkler, they told him like, "Hey, don't be upset, but we're not going to show you on any of the promotional materials because we want you to be in the movie as kind of like a surprise for the fans when you pop up on screen." So I don't think they have that instinct anymore, you
no.
know? Yeah.
It sucks because again it's a cash grab, right? They have to put those big names out there to get people in the seats. It's not. I don't know if people are if they don't believe people will just come see it anyway, and then word of mouth after watching and be like, you have to see it. There's somebody in there that you're not expecting, right? Like I don't know.
I think they underestimate horror fans. We don't need big names
Right.
Yeah.
to get us in the seats. We just need to hear
Mm-hmm.
Scream, Sidney Prescott, Ghostface. Fucking done. Take my money.
Done. Yep.
Yeah, and it was I
Exactly.
don't know about you guys, but it was and I love Ethan Embry, don't get me wrong, but like seeing him in Scream 7 as soon as he popped up, I was like, "Oh, he's a killer."
That's
Like,
what I
Yep.
said. I
Yep.
said the same
Exactly.
thing. I'm like, it's Ethan Embry. He's a killer. Yep.
that's why he's here, yeah.
And he's on the poster. So I'm like, he's clearly like, okay, he's a killer.
Right. Yeah.
I must have not seen this poster because I don't remember him being on a poster either.
I mean, they had like 4 or 5 different ones, but yeah, it's great.
Uh,
Did and this is a dumb question because Scream fans, but in Scream 2, when they're at the party for the what you call it, Matthew Lillard is actually in the background for a split second,
yep.
and then in Scream 7, in the very beginning, when they're listening to the podcast, they're just talking about it, how oh, he's alive because he was at this party. So it's kind of funny how they brought that back, and it was just
The
real quick,
meta
and I was like,
version.
"Fuck yeah!"
Mm-hmm.
I do like the little Easter eggs they put throughout, especially when Wes was a part of it. Like even in the first one, right? When he's like cursing out the kids in the hallway and the guy looks up in the Freddy Krueger sweater and hat and he's like, "What'd you call me?" And he's like, "Oh, not you, Freddy." And it's just like, oh, I love that. I love the little tie-ins that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Wes Craven in the sweater, which was even better.
Yeah. It's so
Mm-hmm.
great. Like, it's just fun. But I do love, like you said, this is 3 decades, right? So, like, the things that we're constantly learning about the production process, which really just speaks to the franchise itself, the fact that fans care enough because we love it so much to be like, tell us how it was made, tell us your process. And any little thing, any little nugget we can get of something new is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that you learned about Scream that took you by surprise that you're just like, oh, that's fun, that's cool?
I really liked in the your favorite scary movie book. They talked about how with Wes and Drew, she needed to get into this really emotional state and like be able to do it kind of quickly, like for repeated takes and a lot of times. So they were kind of like having a conversation about how she could get there. And Wes was like, basically, like, what is the most upsetting thing in the world to you? And she told him this story, this news story that she couldn't get out of her head that some kid had lit his dog on fire. And so I know it's awful. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have said trigger warning. But but he said, okay, so as long as you're comfortable with it, that's what we're going to use to ground this. And so he would just walk past her when they're getting ready to shoot, and he would say, like, the boy's got the lighter in his hand, and then he'd walk across, set. But like, they agreed that this was what she was going to need, and and he'd always check in on her and make sure she was okay. But I was like, wow, like that is upsetting but very powerful, and it's kind of cool to go back and watch Scream and see how Drew performs and then know that, totally.
And what a performance.
Oh. I know.
That's some commitment to the process for sure. Ooh, internal acting there. I love that in all of horror, we only have a few icons that are the ultimate final girls. Like, even Laurie from Halloween is not a final girl. They brought her back, but I don't think it quite counts since she was killed off in, what was it, Halloween 2? So they brought her back because people loved her, but she technically did get killed off in Halloween 2. Or after Halloween, between Halloween 2 and 4, when they bring her, is it her niece? Michael's niece into 4, they lightly, regard that her parents were killed and Laurie was one of them. So it's like, technically she wasn't quite a final girl. But in terms of overall horror, we have a few. We have Mia Jovovich in Resident Evil. We have Sidney Prescott. I mean, she's 7 films in, and technically she wasn't in 2, but she was still alive in that universe during those movies. And she is the ultimate final girl. And if the day ever comes that they kill her off, guys, we're burning it down to the ground.
Well, actually, this is an interesting. I've never heard somebody take final girl so literally, like to the fact that, because like to me, Sydney is the epitome of a final girl, even if they kill her, which they're not gonna. Like, she survived. This was her happy ending. Like, and I agree with doing that. But if she were to die next movie, I don't think I'd stop seeing her as a final girl. Like, come on, Laurie Strode was a final girl.
I don't know. It's the same killer, though. I guess technically Laurie was killed in a car accident, so it doesn't quite count that, like, Michael got her. But if Ghostface, even though it's just a different person, it's still the face, Ghostface kills her at some point, then she didn't defeat Ghostface.
That's so hard. That's so hard. You have to think. And in Halloween, there's like different timelines where they ignore...
Which is just bullshit that they do that.
That's what I think makes Scream so special, is because Scream has not done that. Like,
yes,
even though some of the movies are worse than others, I've never hated a Scream movie. Like, I don't think they've ever like the closest I think they've come to jumping the shark is Scream 3, and I still fucking love Scream 3. so I think that's why I think it's one of the best franchises, if not the best.
They just added to the lore in 3. They're like, yes, I know Billy and Stu did it, and yes, they still did it, but Roman had some influence, which don't love that they tried to make him a mastermind of them because they were so creatively psychotic on their own. But okay, we'll roll with it. We'll add it to the lore. But yeah, like, I hate when they like horror, because it feels like they've run out of storylines, right? And they're like, wait, undo. We're going to erase, we're going to redo. And it's like, just let it go. It's okay. Find another way to freshen it up, like with Halloween. Don't get me wrong. I love the Halloween series to an extent, but this rewriting and re-editing timelines, like, well, in this timeline, she had a son, but in that timeline, she's got a daughter. And this one, she had a daughter, but she died. And it's like, guys, this is not a soap opera. This is not daytime TV. Like, let's keep it cleanish. Let's be gross and gory with it, but let's keep it cleanish. Let's keep our murders clean.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. Well, with Scream 3, unfortunately, they did have to rewrite it because of the whole Columbine thing.
Yeah.
That happened, unfortunately. So
and the leaked
that's why we got
right?
what we got.
They had like multiple different versions of the scripts and stuff too. But yeah.
They have very strong actors, so it's fine. Lance Henriksen, come on, an icon. Like, having Lance in there alone, it's like, oh, this is so nice, and he's such a douchebag in this. I love it. But yeah, it was. Who was Roman? What is the actor's name?
I'm so bad with actors' names. I don't know.
Scott Foley.
I totally forgot.
That's it. Yeah.
Scott Foley. Yeah.
Yeah, he did great. Like, as much as
Mm-hmm.
his character was kind of like, again, a motivation that you're like,
It's like, okay.
pushing it a little, he still sold it. He's still like, can we talk about just her holding his hand at the end while
Yeah.
he's dying? It's like, oh, that's so powerful, right? He just tried to kill her, and these siblings just went at it, trying to kill each other. And even in his death, she's like, I know you did this because you felt alone, so I'm going to hold your hand. That's very Sydney of her.
The two things that I think are so weird about that movie, other than Gail's bangs, would be, well, the voice changer that can sound like anybody. Like that makes no sense at all, especially at the time.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. But also, Roman, like, you don't just get that job of director because you like answered an Indeed ad. Like he had to work his ass off to be in a position where he could be that director. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what commitment from the jump. He
Yeah.
probably worked for like 10 years to get to the point where he could be in that position. That's insane.
He had a commitment to kill.
Which is
Yeah.
why, like, when you reach that kind of success, why don't you just let it go?
Yeah, maybe move on, man.
Let's
Maybe
just make some good movies. Like, let's
Yeah.
just not kill people. I don't know.
Write a movie about it and like let's move forward. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of making movies, you yourself are a filmmaker.
Yes, the Scream is definitely one of the movies that influenced me. I wish I still had it because I could be wrong. I think it was Stab, but I wrote this like on dot matrix paper back in the day when I was a little kid. My cousin helped me type up my first like horror story, and it was basically just like a Scream ripoff, I think. And I think it was called Stab. It was either called Stab or Knife. I don't remember which one.
Nice.
But yeah, so I've been in love with this franchise for a very long time. I actually brought a couple like show and tell items, like a total dork. So this is the Drew Barrymore cover of Scream, and I have like sealed versions of this. I have nicer copies, but the reason I grabbed this to show you guys is I was so obsessed with this movie, and honestly, Drew Barrymore. I wrote Drew Barrymore love letters when I was a kid. And they sent me promo items forever after. That was the response. But I would ask my mom to rent Scream multiple times a week, and she kept renting it. And so she bought it for me for Christmas, but Christmas hadn't come yet. So she wrapped it, and every time I would ask her to rent it, she would unwrap it and give me the movie, and then she would rewrap it. So I'm never ever gonna like from my cold dead hands will you pry this copy of Scream. So.
That is so sweet. Best mom ever.
Oh yeah, best mom ever for sure. Yeah.
What other things did you bring for show and tell?
Sure. Yeah. So I brought a couple other things. I waved this one earlier. I looked for this for years. This is funny enough. This isn't actually from the movie, but this is what they used in the opening of Scream 2. And it's actually from a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ripoff. They're called Reptile Ninja Weapons. And so I looked for years and I finally found like a real one. Similar to that, again, not from the movie, but this is Billy Loomis's exact model of cell phone. This also took forever, but basically honestly, for like 8 years, I had like watch lists in every eBay, Mercari, Depop, whatever. And as soon as it popped up with somebody not knowing what they had, I got this thing. I got it for like $25. And the last one I saw on eBay that was advertised as like Billy's cell phone sold for almost $500. So,
oh my gosh.
And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing
No.
that. And then my last thing, this is super nerdy, but since we're such Scream fans, for our anniversary a couple years ago, I rented a movie theater and played the original Scream, and that's how I proposed to my wife. These are our tickets from when we did like our own screening of Scream. Those are my my nerd things. It was honestly kind of a mistake, like not the engagement, but my wife's gonna kill me. No, but playing Scream, like we were so energized and like nervous, and like we're taking photos of like her engagement ring and dumb shit, and so we totally ignored the movie almost entirely. Like that was kind of a missed opportunity, but maybe for an anniversary, I'll play Scary Movie or something. I'll go back and do it again. Yeah.
We really didn't touch on 5 or 6.
Well, they're not my favorite. I don't hate those movies. I don't. And there's some really amazing things about them. And I think both of the openings are pretty rock solid. But just overall, I just think they're kind of just full of kind of weird writing, I guess, more than anything. Like even just, I don't mind them being in New York. Like that's cool. But like the faking of the daughter's death with all of these cops and detectives around to have her come back as one of that felt like kind of a cheat against the audience, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely there was a little bit more of a, hey, you got to really suspend your disbelief here. Like really, really, you're going to have to work a little harder on that one. But we had Kirby. So I was like,
Kirby
all right,
and
well, at
4.
least we have Kirby.
And then coming back as a detective, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I did really, really love the Ghostface Museum. That would be cool to see, like, actually erected and done in real life. The fact that they had, like, the different statues set up with the different killers and what they wore, the masks and the knives, and just, like, the shadow boxes, the glass cases of the victims and about them. And I don't know, that was probably as creepy as it sounds. I'm like, this is so cool. I would actually go visit something like this.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Well, and some of that stuff was like the real, some of it was manufactured props, but some of it was like they went to the person that like owns that now and borrowed it for the scene and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. There's this guy who owns a bunch of original Scream stuff, and a couple years ago I saw that he posted on this website, Your Props. He posted, and I'm so jealous because I never thought to do this, but he went around to a bunch of different people he looked through the full production list and just started talking to people and seeing like, hey, do you have anything? And he wound up getting the original clapper board from Scream that still said Scary Movie on it.
That's cool.
Somebody in the camera department just like had it in their garage, and he's got it. And I was like, I will pay you anything for that, please. And I was like,
hand it over.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody like you as a filmmaker would probably, I would do this, like Easter eggs in the background of all my films, just had a random Scream things.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've done that, but
yeah, we plant little things. Usually, honestly, we plant them for our own movies because we're scared that somebody's going to get mad that we like reference some other horror movie. But we do that sometimes for sure. Usually, it's just very little things. I'm not going to have like a big Ghostface poster in the background. It's a little too on the nose.
Scream 6 I thought was fun because the killer at the beginning was getting their little warm-up kills in with the professor, which was actually really messed up. But I don't know, that was a fun one in terms of just slasher. I don't know if I'd really consider that this is part of the Scream franchise. It didn't quite feel like a Scream movie, but it definitely was a fun slasher. The kills were really intense. I think Kirby is the one that brought it home for me in terms of this is Scream, because Kirby was Kirby. It was fun in that aspect, and I liked seeing Gail get some fight back, like in her apartment. That was fun, and shooting at the doors and just being an ultimate badass. It's like, wow, she's really, oftentimes in the Scream movies, she looks unfazed. Unless Dewey gets hurt, she doesn't really seem afraid, or I don't know. She just really seems to be a character that absorbs and keeps going. And in that one, it seems like she really was taking the brunt of trauma and fight and grit. And I liked seeing that part of Gail flourish, which we don't really get to see in the other Scream movies because she's got to be, second to Sydney. And I don't feel Melissa is strong enough to be like, this is who I'm second to. Gail just really outshines in that aspect.
Yeah. I love that opening with that is I think it's 6 when he says who gives a fuck about movies.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yes, this is what we need. This is the energy. Yeah.
This is what we're going with.
Mm,
Speaking of that, which movie had the best opening?
that's tough. That's tougher.
Because they're all good. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing that I will say. Like they spend time and a lot of effort on that specifically because it's iconic.
Hmm.
Like every one of them since the first one, they're like, we got to do this right. If we're gonna have this movie, it's got to start out with a bang. And if we don't, we failed everybody.
Yeah, I think for me, that is a really hard. That's a great question actually, and like I could probably go back and forth on this, but I think I'm going to say part 2. I think that's it's not my favorite movie of the franchise, but it's probably my favorite opening. I think.
I honestly like just because it's recent, Seven. I really
It is
enjoyed
good.
the Airbnb, just the robot, the fake thing, and it was freaking brutal. It was super brutal and super just like, oh my god, this is great. Like they're like going all the way with it, just set the place on fire, like just walking out, like that was for me. Whew,
If that
it
was a
set the
real
tone.
thing, it would be booked forever. You know what I mean? Like they
Yes.
would never have an opening left. Yeah.
The movie film voice. And don't forget to rate your stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do love the ghost face walking away as the stuff's just on fire. And it's like, oh, that there was something pretty powerful about that opening sequence. What about you, Joan?
I don't know. I will say 6 just because it was definitely different. You expect the freaking like the title card 1 second and you don't get it until later. So I liked that. I'll say 5 was probably close to that one just because I like to see Jenna Ortega get fucked up because I'm not a big fan of her. So, um, but yeah, 6 for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with 7. That was even just her swinging on the chandelier and then falling on, and the ghost face rolls over with a knife. I'm like, oh, what a brutal way to go. Um,
Mm.
it was just fun. It was explosive. There was fire. It was nostalgic because it's in the house of stew, and it was fun.
Mm.
If that I sound so disturbing, yay, good clean funds. I don't know. I could do without
Uh,
like the whole Melissa and Jenna storyline. I mean, they're fine. The stories, I wouldn't say that I'm watching them and bored. I definitely stay engaged. I like the Manhattan one better than the one that's in what is it, Woodsboro? Is that where they're in Woodsboro, right?
yeah, so
Like
5, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I do like 6 better than 5. It's kind of like Jason Takes Manhattan. We've got
Hmm.
Ghostface in Manhattan, and now where I'm like, is Ghostface going to go to space? I don't know, but it's exciting. Why
Don't
not?
Yes.
Let's see
say
where
it.
it
Yes.
Don't
goes.
put that into the
Yes.
world.
Yes. No, I want that. As a
No,
sci-fi
no,
nerd, I want that.
no, we don't need
Give it to
another
me.
Fast and Furious in space.
Don't include Fast and the Furious in this, please. Like Fast and Furious can
Okay,
die.
we don't need
Hey,
Jason in
hey,
space. Jason X.
hey! You watch
Yeah.
yourself.
I'm sorry, it's not horror and it's supernatural in a way because they don't die in a car crash. They can jump building to building. Ugh, I hate
BJ,
those
I live
movies.
my life a quarter mile at a time. Okay,
And I don't got
well,
friends. I
well
got
played.
family.
I got family. I never knocked on nobody. So, if you guys could come up with a motivation, Scream 8, you have a new motivation, new killer. Where would you go with it? Or killers?
Yeah, I want there to be. I mean, I guess you couldn't say it's no motivation, but it's more about the fandom. And I would I had a brief moment in 7 whenever the other Ghostface, I think in slow mo, like comes in through the front of that shop, and right, I was like, wait a second, there's a bunch of them. Like I thought, oh my gosh, at the end of this, there's going to be like a cult of like 16 ghost faces, and that's kind of what I want to see happen at this point. I don't know where you go from there, but I kind of don't care. I just want to see.
I mean, that was like the original idea for 3. Stu was still supposed to be alive, but like making other kids do it from jail. So
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Yep, that was the original idea until the whole school thing happened, and they're like, "Nope, that's we can't." Like, so they stopped that one.
Wow.
What about you, BJ?
Um, again, like I would connect something back to Drew Barrymore. Like it's something that they just haven't had. I don't know what, or just like there's been so many like bystanders that have just got cut out and dead, right? It's like, what about their families? What about all the extended families? What about all of that, right? Like, what if they all band together? They're like, yeah, my kid got killed. Yeah, their kid got killed. Let's go take care of Sydney. Nobody other kids are going to die because of Sydney Prescott. Like, once she's gone, then we're good. Like, we don't have to deal with that
We're
anymore.
good. Or
Vengeance,
do
man.
we? Because there's always going to be a reason to kill. It's a scream, baby.
I don't know. I still say space.
Just face in space. I would love to see
Right.
it continue on with her daughter. Ghostface, whoever it is. Maybe it's, hey, my kid got killed because of you. Now I'm going after your kid and going after her children because she's got little ones too, which the Scream franchise has done a pretty good job of staying away from the super young ones. But I mean, nothing's off limits, right? If you can kill Dewey, then maybe you go after all the kids. That's messed up. As a parent,
Yeah,
I don't like
that
that
would
I
be
said
very
that,
messed
but
up.
as a horror person, I'm like, hey, that's where we're at.
Right? How shocking would that be? Exactly. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
not saying you do kill them, but I mean, we saw it in Halloween, right? You have his niece who, how old was she? Like 8 or something. She was really young.
Yeah.
Danielle Harris in, what was it? 5 and 6, 4 and 5, whatever.
4 and 5, yeah.
4 and 5.
Four
There
and
we
five,
go.
yeah.
So you've got the kids and you've got the killer kid. So maybe now we start to expand a little bit more into the realm of no ages are off limits. And where does the motive go from there?
I changed my answer. I want a mashup. I want I want Ghostface
Against the
versus
leprechaun.
Jason or something. Like no. Like what I want is like they think it's Ghostface the whole time, but Jason's just been killing fools like the whole time, and it's just misidentified, right? Like it's like, oh god, like Ghostface at it again. Nope, it's just Jason killing everybody. Or somebody else, I don't know. But I would like some kind of mashup, or just make Ghostface lean into the supernatural, maybe. I don't know. Like
But
make it.
but their whole thing is that there's no supernatural elements. Like I think
Are you sure though?
see, I know that's what I'm saying. Like your reading of some of the stuff makes sense as like, well, this can't be real. But theoretically, the screenwriters and all those people, they're saying all of this takes place in real life. Like in Scream 4, isn't it Anna Paquin who says there's something scary about a guy who just fucking snaps? And like
Right.
that's what it's supposed to be. But like then you get to Scream 7 when this person is like lifting up a whole human being to put them on a beer tap. It's kind of hard to believe that that could happen, but
That was so gross.
it was a great
Capri
scene.
Sun.
It's not very realistic, but it's a great kill.
Oof.
And the fact that it was his mom that did it.
It makes you wonder too. I mean, Pilates is a hell of a trainer if you could do stuff like that. But it makes you wonder, in that same vein, if Mindy and Chad can take these stabs and these wounds and get back up and be okay, how they can take one little, stab and got shoved into something, and they were in that back room the entire time while these kids are being killed. And that was so sad. They look at each other and try and hold hands. Oh, sorry. That was super sad. I didn't like that. I'm like, really? Y'all had to do that? It's fucked up.
Could you have a supernatural moment where it's not Ghostface, but it could be like the dead, like spirits talking to the living to try to help them out, almost like Black Phone in a way?
You're already getting that with Billy Loomis talking to
Oh,
his
I
daughter
hated
to an
that.
extent. I don't
was
like
gonna
that,
say,
but
that
that's
so much.
that's kind of what you're getting. Okay.
Ghost Billy is not for me.
They already touched on that by doing that, and I don't think anybody receives that very well. We're like, cut that shit out.
Though it was there then. It was there. It just
That is fair.
wasn't.
There was something, yeah. They did do that. So I guess you could. Well, you know what? It would, to BJ's point though. Even though I wouldn't be happy about it, I would think there's something kind of crazy and cool about surprise. We're in a totally new era. It is supernatural now. Like,
It's the era of mashups.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I would be upset for 5 minutes, and then I'd probably be like, all right, fuck it, let's keep going.
I mean, at least with hers, you could say it's his ghost, or you could say it's her psychosis because she is on medication for supposed hallucinations. So who knows if it's his ghost or psychosis? But whatever it is, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
Mostly because he looked so weird.
See,
Yeah.
it's because they de-aged him, and I'm like, that kind of de-aging is what you should have done to Stu in part 7, because it wouldn't have been like AI, but it would still look different, you know.
Yeah.
But I think they just wanted to keep it so people still had hope that it was the real Stu, so they probably didn't want to go too far in the other direction. I need to get off of this complaint point. I'm sorry, it irked me so much.
No,
So,
I have to deal with it at work.
And yet we still love the movies. And we love the music of the movies.
Yeah.
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 The
yeah.
soundtracks across all of the Screams are great.
Well, the Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Red Right Hand
Yes.
became such a big deal. And hold on, I'm probably going to get this wrong. This is also from the same book. But the studio didn't want to use Nick Cave again. And so Wes was basically like, no, we're using it. Like, this is as much a part of the movie as like I am. So he like fought for that to be brought back in
Yeah.
Nice.
4. Yeah.
Actually, was it 4? 4 didn't
thought it
have
was
one.
4.
4 is the only one that did not have one.
Then what am I mixing up?
It was.
I got to read the book again.
Yeah, because it was in 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and then of course 7. But it
Oh
was
yeah,
not
because
in
part 4. Sorry, I'm mixing up two things. Sorry, because in part 4, Kevin Williamson left the project, and
Yeah.
then wound up basically like ghostwriting and helping them. And so Wes told them, if you're not going to put Kevin Williamson's name back on the project, then you're going to have to take my name off the project. So that was that. But he went to bat for both of them in different ways. But I guess the Nick Cave thing, it was more just he didn't get included, and Wes was heartbroken about it and that kind of stuff. Read the book; it's really good.
Now, you have a film that's currently on the circuit, right?
Yes, Looky Loo Part 2. Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. So Looky Loo Part 1, we always tell people, is kind of a tough watch. Yeah, I tell people about Part 2. If you can make it through Part 1, you're really going to like Part 2. But we, after our other movie, Straight Edge Kegger, we were kind of like, we had a bunch of stuff we wanted to do, but we started testing cameras for low light scenarios, and I creeped myself out. I was walking around at like 2:00 in the morning by myself, filming in alleyways, and somebody walked past the alley and didn't see me as I'm filming. And then I like turn out of the alley and I'm on the sidewalk behind them. And I was just like creeping myself out, being like, this person has no idea that I'm recording them. And so I went home. I told my partner and writer, Nolan Myhale, I told him about it and said, I think I want to switch gears and do this weird thing. And at the time, I had a worse idea. I thought, oh, we'll just do like a low budget POV horror movie. Nolan misunderstood, and he thought that the guy was a filmmaker. And so the movie you'd be watching is the movie he shot and edited. So that was like, the idea came from both of us and neither of us at the same time. And so it's not what we planned on shooting, but we kind of fell in love with it. And actually, to tie it all together, when we were about done with part 1 and we were the plan at the beginning of part one was to make this a trilogy about this guy who films the world around him and then discovers he's a serial killer. And we wanted to make it as grounded as humanly possible. But we're almost done with part one, and the wife and I put on Scream 4, and they have that scene in the classroom, and they're talking about this is the future where the killers are going to film their crimes and put them on the net before they get caught. And I was like, holy shit, that's what we're doing. That is exactly what we're doing in Looky Loo. So it does all tie back together, I think.
That's fun. And for people that want to find your previous work and your current work, where can they find more about you?
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on Facebook, just my name. You can go look at any of our Weird on Top pictures. That's our production company on Instagram and all that jazz. But Looky Loo, Straight Edge Kegger, and even one of my old movies, Night Terrors, it's on Tubi TV. Looky Loo is also on Found TV, a great new platform if you like found footage. And you can find the other titles all over the place. And hopefully soon we'll be on something really cool that we can announce. But I can't make any announcements about anything yet. Right now we're on the festival circuit, just doing the best we can to spread the word about part two.
You mentioned that Scream was an influence into your foray into filmmaking. Have there been any other film franchises or standalone movies that also influenced you?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you like, every movie that I make is kind of a reaction to something, and usually it's like a genre mashup. So like when I did Straight Edge Kegger, I wanted to make a punk rock horror movie because they're two of my favorite things in the whole world. So I always tell people it's SLC Punk meets Your Next, and Night Terrors was an old school horror anthology like Body Bags and Creep Show. So I'm kind of all over the place. I do think it's, even though horror is like, that's my bread and butter, that's my happy place. I do think the Looky Loo world is a very dark world to live in. And so we're thinking about switching it up to go a little more like in the dark comedy, horror comedy realm, take a little break before we dive back in. But yeah, I love it all. I mean, I grew up obsessed with Craven, Carpenter, Raimi, all that stuff. You know what? The one thing I don't normally talk about horror like this, but like the thing that I'm obsessed with is sequels, like part twos, because they're rarely viewed as better, but I think they're almost always more interesting. Like Slumber Party Massacre 2, Texas Chainsaw 2, like just all of the twos are so fucking bizarre, and I really, really love them. So at some point I want to write a book called I Preferred the Sequel to to fight for my sequels,
Yeah, except the Last Boys 2 sequel was not one of those. Not more interesting.
That is fair. That is fair.
But you are right. Oftentimes the sequels are equally, if not more so, compelling.
Yeah. They're rarely. I mean, they debate it in Scream 2, right? Like, they say like sequels are by definition inferior films or whatever, but they argue correctly. Terminator 2, all day,
Aliens.
a better film. Aliens, yes, 100%.
Well, in terms of franchises, Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, in my opinion, better than 1. So like you have in a lot of the franchises, I feel like there are, if not the sequel, the trilogy or something further along outshines the original. But we have a love for the original. Now in terms of Scream, I still feel like the OG is the best.
Yeah, I know. I want, for a long time I actually thought Scream 2 was my favorite. But then I went back and watched it again a few years later, and I still really love that movie, but man, I kind of can't stand any of the theater stuff. And even like when those big cement blocks are falling down and they're making cement block sounds, but they're styrofoam, it drives me insane.
And there's just that ultimate murderous bromance that nobody else will ever be able to top of Billy Loomis and Stu Macher. Guys, do we have any final thoughts on the Scream franchise? I know we were kind of all over the board, but I love it. I love these conversations. Do we have any final thoughts or questions before we start to wrap it up?
Yeah, I just had a question for you. As a horror filmmaker, what is the thing that you like to emphasize the most? Like what element of horror? Like whether is it dark, is it the lighting, is it the costumes, is it the sound design? Is there, if you had to pick one thing that you're like, this is my jam, this is what I want to make sure that is done the best.
So this is, it's not going to be about cinematography or anything. It's the grounding it in reality. Like I really have a hard time, even though, like I said, I love just about anything horror. I really have a hard time suspending my disbelief. So I like things that feel like they could really happen. You know, it doesn't mean I don't absolutely love Cabin in the Woods. I do, but I subscribe a little bit more to what they said in Scream 4. Like, there's something about a guy with the knife who just fucking snaps that really freaks me out. And so, like with Looky Loo, we were like, we're gonna just try to make people uncomfortable. Like our goal was not to make the most enjoyable film. It was to make a movie that you kind of couldn't stop watching, like a car crash, and at the end, you'd be scared to go back home because you're like, oh God, the killer's already in my closet, you know. So yeah, that like grounding in reality and an overall feeling of dread is what I value the most.
John Thomas.
I just want to say thank you for coming on. It was always fun to talk with a fellow Scream enthusiast. So
Well,
love it.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me. This has been awesome. I don't know if I told you guys this, but in an hour and 35 minutes, it's my birthday. So I was like so excited that this happened like right before my birthday. I'm like, this is kind of a dream come true for me. This is awesome.
Happy birthday!
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
It's like an early birthday present for sure.
No, I'm glad you wanted to share part of it with us.
Yeah.
So for your birthday, sending positive vibes, if there could be one thing, just one thing, your dream prop from the Scream franchise, what do you want?
Ooh.
Well, I've become obsessed with the idea of that clapperboard from part one. I know that's not a prop, but like there's something about like a piece of the production that makes me feel closer to it. And because I care so much about it, like that, I think that's like my, if anybody knows the guy out there who has that thing, please, for my birthday, please get the guy to sell that thing to me. Yeah, and if it wasn't that, maybe you know what it would be. The only other thing that's like from the movies is I would want the original voice changer. You
That'd be cool.
know, because you can't even like find those. Like they're really crappy. Like that's obviously not what they were using for the voice. We all know who the voice was, but they would for a long time they would sell those little white ones, and then eventually they ran out of the white ones and they stopped making them, so they sold gray and blue ones. So I have both a gray and a blue one, and I still don't have the white one. So that would probably be the other thing that I would want.
That was something that I learned recently on some random video that popped up on my feed that I thought was pretty fun. During their scenes where they're talking to Ghostface, they actually have him on the phone talking to them. And they're like, when they originally started, he was hidden in a tent on site somewhere. And now, obviously filmmaking's gotten more expansive, that you can be creative with what you do in a different way, that he just calls from like his house. Like there's been an instance where he's in California and he's calling them on the phone and delivering his lines. And I'm like, that is so fun.
Yeah. He's so dedicated. They talk about that a lot in the behind the scenes stuff and in the book, like that he's so just like is that character.
Do you have any final projects you want to shout out to, or anything in terms of Scream or anything else? Anything else you want to add?
I think more people need to give the Scream franchise a shot. I know that sounds weird because it is a popular franchise, but I keep hearing so many people talk about how they don't care about it or only watch the first one or whatever. And I'm like, I don't get it. It's one of my favorite franchises for sure. But yeah, we are a very low budget indie house. So Please, any way you can, go check out our trailer for Looky Loo Part 2. Spread the word. Hopefully people liked Part 1, but even if you didn't, give Part 2 a shot. We think we delivered on everything we kind of established in Part 1.
Awesome. And happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for having me on. This has been a blast.
Yeah, I'm glad you had fun. It was the Benadryl. It made you... No, I'm just kidding.
Benadryl didn't hurt. Yeah.
All right, BJ Segura, do you want to bring us home?
Absolutely. Yeah, again, just take Jason's advice, and I'm going to as well. I'm going to rewatch the whole franchise because I do tend to give it a bad rap because there's not a, for me, there's not a lot of like gems in there, but there's a lot of scenes and a lot of cool things in there that a lot of people will miss out on if they don't give it more of a shot. And I say give it a shot, because you'll find some really cool stuff in there. And yeah, and again, thank you all for tuning in to this episode of 3Haunted Podcasts with your hosts. I'm BJ Segura.
I'm Ashley Lunar Goddess.
Forgot what I was doing. I'm John Thomas.
If you have any questions, comments, or episode suggestions, please feel free to email us at 3hauntedpodcast@gmail.com. If you haven't done so already, please like, follow, and subscribe to all our social media. You don't want to miss our amazing guests like Jason.
And don't forget to check out 3hauntedpodcast.com, where you'll find all of our past and current season episodes, as well as guest information and all kinds of awesome merch.
Until next time, I'll be right back.